Hi children, welcome to my channel Easy Learning. So, as you all are entering into a new academic year, here I am in front of you to explain in detail all the chapters in class 7 science. So, let us start from the first chapter, that is nutrition in plants. So, in this chapter, you will be learning about different methods of nutrition or different modes of nutrition. So, before going to the topic or before going to the lesson, in class 6, you have studied that food is one of the most important factor for the survival of organism. So, or it is one of the essential factor which is needed for all the living organism to grow. So, in that you might have studied that vitamins, carbohydrate, minerals, fats, roughage, all these as the main components of food. I hope you know that the vitamins, minerals, carbohydrate, protein, fats, and roughage. All these are considered to be the components of food. So, in class 6, you have studied that these components of food is necessary, for very important, or it is very essential. So, these components of food which is necessary for our body, they are known as nutrients. So, how can you define nutrients? The components of food which is necessary for our body, it is known as nutrients. So, that is also a very important term you have to learn in this particular chapter. So, you should know the definition of nutrients. Nutrient means the components of food which is necessary for our body. So, how this nutrition takes place in plants? That is what we are learning in this chapter. How the nutrition process it takes place in plants. That is, what are the different modes of nutrition which helps the plants for undergoing this process of nutrition. So, here in this, the plants are the only one organism which has the capacity or capability to produce their food by themselves by using carbon dioxide, water and minerals. So, this plants, they take carbon dioxide, water and minerals. By utilizing these three, they are preparing their own food. But whereas we human beings, we cannot prepare our own food. We depend either on plants or other animals for our food. That is, it which is needed for our survival. So here, the carbon dioxide, water and minerals are the three main raw materials which is utilized by the plants for the process of for preparing the food. So here in this, how the mode of nutrition takes place. So here in this, first let's see what is the definition of nutrition. Nutrition means the mode of taking in food and its utilization by the body. That is defined as nutrition. So nutrition means the mode of taking in food and utilization by the body. That is, the food we are taking inside our body and it is utilized by our body for what? For the growth and repair of our body or for all the metabolic activities of our body, we need food. So, the way which we are taking in the food and its utilization by the body, it is known as nutrition. That is the definition of nutrition. It is very important. You should know the terms and the definition very well. That is what is meant by nutrition. So, when we talk about nutrition, there are different types of nutrition you will learn in this particular chapter. First, we will go on to main two types. One it is the autotrophic nutrition and the other one it is the heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic and heterotrophic. So, these two main types of nutrition, one it is the autotrophic and the other one it is the heterotrophic. Auto means self. That is the cells, they have the self-governing system. That is, they prepare their own food. So, here, how can you define autotrophic nutrition? Autotrophic nutrition means the mode of nutrition in which the organism, they prepare their own food from simple substances. The mode of nutrition in which the organism, they prepare their own food from simple substances as autotrophic nutrition. So, here mainly those organisms which prepare their own food, they are known as Autotrophs. They are known as autotrophs. And the simple example is green plants. The simple example is green plants. Heterotrophic nutrition means the organism which cannot prepare their own food and they depend upon other organisms. That is the mode of nutrition in which the organism they depend upon other organisms for food. They are known as heterotrophic nutrition. And those organisms which cannot prepare their own food and they depend upon other plants or other animals for food, they are known as heterotrophs. And simple example we can give it as human. Okay, so two types of mode of nutrition we have learned. One it is the autotrophic mode of nutrition and the other one it is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So the autotrophic mode of nutrition means the mode of nutrition in which the organism prepare their own food from simple substances. So what are those simple substances? These are the simple substances, that is the carbon dioxide, water and minerals. These are considered to be the raw materials which is utilized by the plants for preparing their food. Okay, so the raw materials which is utilized by the plants for preparing their food, they are considered to be the main important factor which helps the green plants for preparing their food. Okay, and these all are present in the surroundings. That is the carbon dioxide, water and minerals, all the three raw materials are available in the surroundings. So when we talk about autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition, autotrophs, heterotrophs and all, many questions may arise in our mind. So how these plants or which part is utilized by the plants for preparing the food, or whether the food is prepared in all parts of the plant, or how it is being transported, the food which is prepared from the plants, how it is reaching to each and every part of the plant. Like that, lots of questions may arise in our mind. So for that, we will learn regarding how these process takes place, or how the plants they prepare their food and how it is being transported to each and every part of the body of the plant, and how it is available for other organism also, and what are the materials which is needed for the process of preparing the food. All these we will learn in the next topic. So let's move on to the next topic, that regarding how the plants they prepare their food. Okay, so already I have told carbon dioxide, water and minerals, these are the three main raw materials for preparing the food. In that, which is the main part which prepares the food? That is, in plants, leaves is the main part where the food is prepared. And since leaves prepare the food, they are known as the food factory. The leaves, they are known as the food factory because the leaves are the main part of the plant which prepares their food. So, consider leaves as the main part of the food factory of the plant. How does the leaves prepare the food? How the leaves obtain all these substances for preparing the food? How these materials are available for the plants or the leaves for preparing the food? So, this carbon dioxide, the carbon dioxide is available in the atmosphere, isn't it? So, this leaves is considered to be the main food factory of the plant. So, let us see how the leaves obtain these materials for preparing the food. So, regarding water and minerals, it is available in the soil. So, with the help of the roots, the water and minerals it is absorbed by the plant. So, once the root is absorbed by the plant, how does it reaches the leaves? So, here inside the plant, there is a type of tissue or vessels is present there. It is known as the conducting tissue. It is known as the conducting tissue, or otherwise it is known as the vascular bundles. Different terms are there for them. So, the conducting tissues or the vascular bundles, it is act like a pipe system inside the body of the plant. So, it is available or it is present in the roots, it is present in the stem, it is present in the branches and it is present there in the leaves also. So, once the root absorbs the water and minerals from the soil, it is being transported through this conducting tissues from the root to the stem and then it reaches the leaves. That is how the raw material, water and minerals, it is obtained to the leaves for preparing the food. Next is carbon dioxide. So how the carbon dioxide is available for the leaves for preparing the food. So on the surface of the leaves, there are tiny pores which is present there on the surface of the leaf. So those tiny pores, it is surrounded by a protective cell. It is known as the guard cell, which helps in closing and opening of the stomata. So that tiny pores which is present on the surface of the leaf, it is known as stomata. The tiny pores which is present on the surface of the leaf, it is known as stomata. So with the help of the stomata, it absorbs the carbon dioxide gas, and that is how it reaches the leaf for preparing the food. Okay, so stomata is the tiny pores which is present there on the surface of the leaf. Those tiny pores, it is I'll just draw a small figure of the stomata. It is protected by the guard cells, and then this, it is the stomatal pore through which the exchange of gases takes place. This is the guard cells which protects the or which controls the opening and closing of the stomata, and this is the subsidiary cells. These are the subsidiary cells. This is the guard cell which helps in the closing and opening of the stomatal pore, and the minute pores which is present there, it is known as the stomatal pore, which helps in the exchange of gases. So there are two main functions of stomata. Even though you are studying it in higher classes only, I will just mention that the main two functions of stomata, it is that it helps in exchange of gases and also for the process of transpiration. So these are the transpiration, already you have studied in 6th standard, that is the process of removing water or in the form of vapor from the plant, that is known as transpiration. So all these are controlled by or done with the help of stomata. So these are the two main functions of stomata. One, it helps in the exchange of gases, and the other one, it helps in the process of transpiration. So with the help of the stomata, what is absorbed? The carbon dioxide which is present there in the atmosphere, it is taken up by the plants and it reaches the leaf with the help of stomata for the process of preparing the food. So these three raw materials already I have told. Along with that, there are two other things which is necessary for preparing the food. One, it is the sunlight, and the other one, it is the chlorophyll. So these are the other two materials which is present, which is needed for preparing the food by the plant. So this chlorophyll means it is a green pigment which is present there in the plant. All the plants, they appear in green, isn't it? Other than that, there are certain plants or the leaves which we see colored leaves, either yellow, red, orange, like that. The many colors you can see in the leaves. Even though those colors will become dominant rather than this chlorophyll, that is why that color it has been appeared on the surface of the leaf. They contain the chlorophyll also, and they undergo the process of preparing the food also. Okay, so this chlorophyll, it is a green pigment which is present on the leaf. That green pigment, with the help of the chlorophyll only, the plants, they can absorb the sunlight energy. Without sunlight, nothing is possible. So they can absorb the sunlight energy, or they can absorb the solar energy only with the presence of chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll helps in absorbing the sunlight energy for preparing the food. So since sunlight is essential for preparing the food, that particular process of preparing the food by utilizing carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll, then it is known as photosynthesis. So this is the term which is used for preparing the food by the plants, that is photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means producing. So with the help of the light, the plants, they are preparing the food by using the simple substances like carbon dioxide, water and minerals. This water and minerals, it is available in the surroundings, and carbon dioxide is available in the atmosphere. It is taken with the help of the stomata, whereas the water and minerals, it is taken with the help of the root from the soil, and then it is been distributed, or it has been transported with the help of the conducting tissues from the root to the stem, and then to the branches, and then it reaches the leaf. So by utilizing all these raw materials, they are preparing the food. So what is meant by photosynthesis? Photosynthesis means the method of preparing the food by the plants with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll by utilizing carbon dioxide, water and minerals. So the raw materials utilized for the process of photosynthesis, it is carbon dioxide and water, and it takes place in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. So what is prepared? The food is prepared. The food which is prepared, it is known as carbohydrate. The food which is prepared, it is known as the carbohydrate, and along with that, what is also released? Oxygen is also released. Oxygen is also released. This oxygen, you learn in higher classes, it is considered to be the waste product of the plant, even though that waste product is very essential for all other living organisms to survive, because we need oxygen for our survival. So that if photosynthesis process is not taking place, then the survival of the organism or the survival of the life on earth, it will be impossible. So that is why the process of photosynthesis is a very essential method which is taken up by the plants, which helps for the survival of the other living organism also. So how can you define photosynthesis? Photosynthesis means the method of preparing food by the plants by using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. That is meant by photosynthesis. Okay, so now we can write a word equation for the process of photosynthesis. So here, let me write here. So here in this, carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, you get what? Carbohydrate plus oxygen. So this is the simple chemical equation or word equation for the process of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight, and chlorophyll, you will get the product carbohydrate and oxygen. So these are the two products which is obtained by the process of photosynthesis. So here this carbohydrate, once it is produced in the plant, the whole amount of carbohydrate will not be utilized by the plant for the metabolic activity. So it will be converted and it will be stored in the form of starch. It will be stored in the form of starch in plants, that the carbohydrate which is produced by the process of photosynthesis. So how can you know whether that particular plant has undergone photosynthesis? So there are different activities to know whether that particular plant has undergone photosynthesis or to know the presence of starch. So the two main activities, that is, we learn in detail in higher classes regarding that particular experiment, that the carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis, sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis, chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Like that, different experiments or activities you may learn in higher classes, that is in 10th standard. Even though here in 7th standard also, a small part of it is there for as a small activity to know that the starch is present there in the leaves. So how can you know that starch is present there in the leaves? So for that, you take two potted plants, and one potted plant, you keep it in a dark room for about 3 to 4 days, and the other plant, you keep it under sunlight, and after that, you take the leaf of the particular plant and then you undergo the process of iodine test. That is, different procedures is coming under that. In detail, it is not there for you to study, even though I will tell that how it is taking place. That is, you will pluck that particular leaf which it is kept under sunlight. One leaf you will take, and then for that you have to remove the chlorophyll. The green color should be removed, otherwise you will not get the correct result. For that process, you will first remove the chlorophyll. After removing the chlorophyll, the transparent leaf, it will be undergoing the iodine test. You put one drop of iodine on top of that leaf, and if that particular part, it shows blue or black color, then we can tell that the starch is present there in the leaf. The same plant which you have kept in dark room, you can pluck one leaf, and then afterwards you can keep that plant in the sunlight for 3 to 4 days. So the second potted plant which you have kept in dark room, that you can take it outside and then you keep it under sunlight for 3 to 4 days. Why we are keeping it in dark room means already the starch is present there in the leaf, isn't it? So you want to remove the whole starch. So once you keep it in dark room, the plant will not get sunlight, and the stored starch, it will be utilizing by the plant, or the starch will be utilized by the plant for its metabolic activity. So after 3 to 4 days, all the stored starch will be removed or it will be utilized by the plant. Then we are keeping that particular plant under sunlight. So after keeping under the sunlight, then after 3 to 4 days, we will pluck that leaf. We will undergo that particular iodine test by removing the chlorophyll and all. And then we can see that when we put 1 or 2 drops of iodine, we can see that blue or black color has occurred in the plant. So we can observe that the starch is present there in the leaf. So how? Because the process of photosynthesis has taken place in the plant. That is why the leaf has appeared blue or black color. Okay. So here, that is one activity to know that the starch is present there in the leaf. Okay. Next, we will move on to the next topic. Already we have studied about regarding autotrophic nutrition. Next, we will move on to heterotrophic nutrition. Already I have told that the heterotrophic nutrition means what? The mode of nutrition in which the organism cannot prepare their food. They depend upon either plants or animals for food. That mode of nutrition, it is known as heterotrophic nutrition, and those organisms, they are known as heterotrophs. Plants. I already told that there are certain plants in which the leaves will not appear green in color. It may be either red, brown, yellow, or etc. So how this happen means that colors, they mask the chlorophyll. So that is why that color will be appearing. That color will be appearing in the leaf, and these leaves also will produce or will undergo the process of photosynthesis. Even though they are either red, yellow, or brown in color, these leaves also, they undergo the process of photosynthesis. And during rainy season, you have seen that there are slimy patches which is present there on the floor, isn't it? In certain areas where the water is stagnant, or where the continuous waterfall it is taking place, there are slimy patches, green patches which is present on the surface. So those slimy green patches which is present, it is known as algae, and they are green in color. Why they are green in color means they contains the pigment chlorophyll, and these plants also, they undergo the process of photosynthesis for preparing their own food. Okay. So other than carbohydrate, what are the different types of food which is produced by the plants? Now we have told that by the process of photosynthesis, the carbohydrate is obtained, isn't it? Other than carbohydrate, what are the other food products which is produced by the plants? That is, the plants has the capability to produce what? The proteins and fats also. So carbohydrate means it includes carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So they are utilized for preparing what? The protein and fats. They are utilized for preparing protein and fats. So these proteins, they are nitrogenous substances. So mainly what is necessary for the plants to prepare protein? Nitrogen is essential for the preparation of protein. But this nitrogen, even though it is very abundant in the atmosphere, it is not available for the plants. Why? Because the plants cannot directly take the nitrogen gas which is present there in the atmosphere. So it has to be converted into some soluble form. So it has to be converted into some soluble form. So that process, it is done by a bacteria, and that bacteria, it is known as rhizobium bacteria. So with the rhizobium bacteria, the gaseous nitrogen, it is converted into the soluble form which is utilized by the plants for preparing the proteins and fats. Okay, so here other than carbohydrate, plants also prepare proteins as well as fats. Fats, for simple example, many different types of oil seeds, it is obtained from the plants itself. Sunflower seeds, then groundnut seeds, all these are, groundnut oil is there, sunflower oil is there, coconut oil is there. So, like that, different types of fats, it is also available from the plants itself. So, other than carbohydrate, plants also produce proteins and fats. Now, next we move on to the next type of nutrition, that is known as heterotrophic nutrition. I hope all have understood this particular topic which I have covered today, that is autotrophic mode of nutrition and the process of photosynthesis. So, thank you children.